have a question in mind, now would be the time to call 972-235-5555. That's the number in the studio. Get ready.
Attorney Pallavi Ahluwalia. Call in with your questions at 972-235-5555. That's 972-235-5555. Or email pallavi@yourdesilawyer.com. Call now to get a second opinion on your current case. Miss Ahluwalia received her law degree over 18 years ago, and her office handles cases involving immigration law, family law, business law, contract law, and civil litigation. Call 972-235-5555. That's 972-235-5555. Or email pallavi@yourdesilawyer.com. Questions for the program Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia can be in English, Hindi, or Urdu. If you prefer an in-person consultation, call 972-361-0606. Remember to turn off your radio when calling.
And yes, if you want that in-person consultation, you do need to call her front desk manager at 972-361-0606. This is Your Business Matters with Pallavi Ahluwalia from Ahluwalia Law Offices. So if you have any questions related to employment or family-based immigration matters, family law, corporate law, or civil matters, do give us a call at 972-235-5555. With that, do want to welcome Pallavi on the airwaves of Fun Asia Radio 104.9 FM. Good morning to you, Pallavi. How are you?
A very good morning to you, Meetu. Very glad to be here on your show this morning, Wednesday morning, with Your Business Matters. And glad to be able to come on the air and interact with the community. I know everybody has so many questions or inputs to provide, and we appreciate that because that does give room for us to be able to clarify some of your concerns and to be able to answer them on the air. I know I already have callers that are queuing up, so we'll start taking questions on the air as well as I'm expecting Zohir from Immigration Voice to come in and give us an update also about what's going on with Immigration Voice and what's the state of the pending lines for the per country limitations that we have on the visa allocation. So we have some updates from him. I also have some updates based on an announcement by DHS, which was posted as a proposed rule in the Federal Register, and this has to do with the EAD card no longer requiring the USCIS to process it in 90 days, but for them to be able to take almost 180 days to process it. So a lot of changes, not some okay and some not very good for our immigrant or pending immigrant community. But let's start taking the calls and then I can clarify once I have time.
All right, sounds great. Once again, 972-235-5555. That's the number in the studio. Let's go to our first caller. On Asia Radio, you are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question to Pallavi, please.
Yeah, hi, good morning, Pallavi. This is Zohair from Immigration Voice, and thanks for the nice introduction.
Of course, Zohair, you have updates for us?
Yeah, sure. So, Immigration Voice submitted a 23-page comments document. Okay. It is there. I can't discuss 23 pages on the call, but here is the thing. Facebook.com/Immigration Voice, and there is a link to the comments that Immigration Voice submitted. We are totally opposing the regulation in its current form. It does not reflect the intentions of President Obama when he announced the job mobility thing in Thanksgiving of 2014. It's a beautiful piece of work done by cases like, everybody having a family. Hildingur Mahanti, Dheeraj Kohli, Aman Kapoor, they spent hours and days on this. And of course, they also had the help of an attorney, Julie. And the point here is that document is so exhaustive and it really reflects the immigration concerns and the stress level and whatever the people of India origin are going through while waiting on their green card. It's an amazing piece of work done. I think one of the weekends, 1 weekend ago, Aman and team were there on the call for 12 hours.
Oh, wow.
Working on this.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. So just so that we can give the community what we're talking about, Zohair, a little bit of the background. This is an announcement that was a proposed rule published in the Federal Register on the 30th of December, and it's labeled Retention of EB1, EB2, EB3 Immigrant Workers and Program improvements affecting high-skilled non-immigrant workers. I think, and it's in the Federal Register if you pull that up from that date. And that's what the rule making gets finalized once there are comments that come in, and different entities. I know AILA has, which is Immigration Lawyers Association, and I know Immigration Voice has also put in or proposed some comments. And given all of that and the feedback from public is when that rule becomes finalized, after they imbibe or reject some of those suggestions that have been given, the comments that Zohair is talking about, which is how many pages again, Zohair?
Our comments is 23 pages. Okay. The actual regulation is 181 pages.
Correct. I have that regulation, and I started off by saying there are some things that are really not good for the people that were expecting that executive action by President Obama on November 2014 to bring them some relief and mobility in their job portability. So this one is not really helping with that. I think it's tied down. Even to give that I-140 based EAD, it requires somebody to give up their non-immigrant status and not be eligible for a 485 later on. So just some bogus options which most immigrants would not exercise if they really want a green card here eventually.
Right. So very well said, Pallavi. I mean, it reflects you're an attorney, so you can speak that language. I just talk like an ordinary civil person. But here is the thing that, we have talked, in that 23 pages, we have talked about why is the need to do a green card all over again? Why can't the job, if a person is already in the immigrant line, why is the need to do even at 140 level, why is he having to have an endless wait? And probably in some cases, this is going to be a wait time for the whole year of their working.
Right.
So, thank you, Pallavi. Thank you, Ahluwalia Law Firm. I will not take the time of others in the queue. And thank you for this opportunity. Do you have any questions, Pallavi?
No, I think we're good. What we're hoping, have you opposed the EAD? The government is trying to take away USCIS from issuing the EADs within 90 days. So I hope that has been strongly also commented on by Immigration Voice, because that was one benefit that someone could rely on, saying, okay, within 90 days, by statute, I'm going to get my EAD, and that's not going to be true anymore, and there are going to be some categories which also include the H4 EADs, which are not going to be subject to the automatic extension rule that they have proposed.
So I don't know about that, but I'll tell you one thing. At the end of the day, we are the number one organization that feels and believes in the cause of skilled immigrants who are waiting and who are in this temporary stage. Anything that can help, we are all for it. We don't pick, at the end of the day, if we have $1 and if we have 1 hour, we have to pick one clause that we can pursue diligently.
Surely.
But at the end of the day, we are fully on board for anything that can help F1, H1, H4, L1, and in any case, relieve the stress level that people are going to be waiting for while they're waiting for the green card for 2 decades.
Yes, very much appreciated on behalf of the community. And so for a lot of people to understand that Immigration Voice is a volunteer organization. So it's run by just, donations of people that are just volunteers. Zohair himself, I always say this, has had a green card for a while, and so it's not that he's looking for this benefit for himself. Even Aman Kapoor is not. So it's they're speaking up for the immigrant community, and I think it behooves the immigrant community to step up and either to partake in this process by helping them out in the way that they want, or participating in making your voice heard. So this is good stuff, and I think if we have an organization that's taking it up on behalf of the community, we should participate in it.
Thank you.
All right, Zohair, all the best.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you so much, Zohair, and what an enthusiastic volunteer he sounds, really. I'm sure
he is.
The Immigration Voice
He's
is really
dedicated.
lucky to have him. All right, going to our next caller, 972-235-5555 is the number to talk to Pallavi right away. AhluwaliaLaw.com is her website to go. Do take an appointment if you need a private consultation with her. 972-361-0606 is her number. Going to our next caller, Fun Asia Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and please ask your question to Pallavi.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning. I have one simple question that my mother is a green card holder and she has been in USA for almost 4 years and she wants to go back. So how long she can stay in India?
Okay, so if she eventually does want to apply for naturalization, then she should not be outside of the US for 180 days. So she has to return back to the country under 180 days.
180 days. Oh, okay, so then her green card will continue and then she can apply for citizenship.
Correct. And she can apply for citizenship if she's been here 4 years as a green card holder. Then she has 9 more months to go. So I think she's quite close. So if she's planning on doing her citizenship, then she has to just be mindful of her next trip. And
before 180 days, right?
Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
All the best.
Thank you. Ma'am.
Going to our next caller, Fanisha Radio. You are live on the air. Go ahead and ask your question.
Yeah, hi. I would like to know what are the formalities being needed to apply for the American citizenship. I will be finishing my 5 years of green card in this July.
Okay, so your eligibility will come at the 4-year, 9-month mark. So you're almost there. I think March should be it. March or April is when you would be eligible. And the formalities would require you to present Form N400 along with passport size pictures, your green card copy as well as a copy of your driver's license. There are a bunch of questions in there that trace your ins and outs of the country. You should not have had any stays outside the country for over 180 days to be eligible at this time at the 4-year, 9-month mark. There should not be any criminal issues, so you should have had a good moral character for the last 5 years. That's a requirement. So even if you have any citations which are traffic violations, you have to have the final adjudication of that as a certified copy that you attach to your petition. So those are some of the basic requirements besides the fees that go with the form.
Okay, so is any time, like a 5-6 months wait or something?
Yes, they do have a processing wait, and that takes about 6 to 7 months from the time you submit. Yes, from the time you submit your application, you're going to wait for a receipt notice. You're next going to get a biometrics notice, and after your biometrics, you will be set up for an interview once the government has gone through your background check.
Alrighty, okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Of course, all the best.
All the best to you. Going to our next caller, Fanisha Radio. You are live on the air. Please ask your question to Pallavi.
Yes, thank you for taking my call. What is the visa bulletin going on right now, ma'am?
It's still March. The one for April will be out at the end of first week of March.
What, 2000?
Yeah, no. So, okay. So when you're asking me what visa bulletin are you talking about, some particular category and some dates that you're looking for? So, okay, tell me.
I was applying for my daughter.
Okay. So then you have to give
me a letter from USCIS in progress in 2006. I received the letter.
Okay. So here are a few things that I need from you. Are you a U.S. citizen or are you a green card holder?
Yes, ma'am. Me and my wife are citizen.
Okay.
We get citizen about 15 years ago.
Okay. And is your daughter, is she married?
Yeah, she's married. She have kids. When I applied, she have 1 kid. Right now, she have 2 kids.
Okay, so right now the people that had applied in October of 2004 are getting their green cards under the family-based third category, which is F3.
Okay, thank you, ma'am.
Okay, all the best.
You have a great day. Bye.
You too, bye-bye.
Thank you so much for your call. Once again, 972-235-5555. That's the number in the studio. And Pallavi, looking at your website, I see a lot of updates. Do you want to speak about your website? And
yes, I mean, there is a lot of information there, a lot of links to government sites. You also can access this particular show by going through our archives and looking for that information on, and they would have a date to it, so you can just look through and hear yourself, or if you want any clarification, listen to this show again. Also, Mitu, I know I have calls still coming in, and I did want to provide a quick update. How much time do I have?
Under 4 minutes.
Under 4 minutes. So one quick call, and then maybe let me give updates.
Sounds very fair, just like you always have been. Going to our next caller, Fanisha Radio. You're live on the air. Please go ahead and quickly ask your question.
Yeah, thanks. My name is Rajesh Shah. Hello.
Yes, go ahead, please.
My name is Rajesh Shah, and we are a citizen of this country, me and my wife.
Okay.
My son had also green card,
Okay.
and he didn't show up, so his green card is gone. Now he wants to come over here and study more. So how you can help us? How this Pallavi Ahluwalia can help us?
Okay, I'll have to understand the question a little better to be able to provide the assistance. So I'll just quickly ask you the question. So your son did have a green card, but he's not been inside the country, so he's given up his green card, is what I'm understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so, and he is abroad, he is in which country?
India.
He's in India. And now he wants to come in as a student, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then he will have to look for the qualifications of any university that he picks and gets admitted to. So the most important thing that he requires.
Okay, and another question: his green card cannot be reinstated?
How long has it been since he has not entered the country?
7 years.
Yes, no. So there is an option for returning residents, but he would not meet that criteria. And that would require someone to have spent, over 1 year, but less than 2 years to be able to avail of that opportunity. So he cannot retrieve his green card, so to speak. He will have to go through as an F1, and for the F1 category, he'll have to meet those requirements. So international student advisor at any university he picks, look at their requirements, get an I-20 from them, establish a few things: his non-immigrant intent, also his financial strength in the home country, and the course of study. If that's justified, then he can come in on an F1 after stamping in India.
All right. Thank you so much for your call, and thank you so much, Pallavi. We have just under a minute left. If you have that update, you can squeeze it in.
Yes, surely. So I just wanted to also tell everybody that in this announcement that we first discussed on top of the hour when we started out our show, which is the high-skilled non-immigrant announcement in the Federal Register, there is an update that would allow people to retain their I-140 priority date, which we know has been the policy, so to speak. This is now written down. And also, once that I-140 has been approved for 6 months, it's going to allow people to use it even to port, which means that if you have to use it for 104C extension for 3 years, even if your employer has withdrawn the I-140 after 6 months, that I-140 will belong to you to be able to use to extend your H-1B. So that's one positive thing that I see in this particular regulation that's out. There's a lot that needs to also be contested, so let's see how it pans out. And I know I'm out of time.
Thank you so much, and we'll hear from you next time. Thank you.
Thank you, Meet.
Your weekly show, Your Business Matters with attorney Pallavi Ahluwalia of Ahluwalia Law Offices. Call in with your questions at 972-235-5555. That's 972-235-5555. If you didn't get a chance to ask your questions, or if you prefer a personal or private consultation,